So we're still getting set up here, but apparently people were logging on, so gonna go ahead and do Pantheon tonight. Just waiting on people to hop on and be able to swap gear around, and then we'll be able to get going. So yeah, right now it's a stream of standing around waiting for people to get here because they're fucking around in Discord. But there will be killing at some point in time later on. Yes, it is definitely raining in Thronefast. Yeah, I got the absolute hookup last night, so I'm gonna swap over the Dire Lord real quick. And all the characters are on all servers right now. You can free swap. Alright, so I do still have the issue of just having regular leather pants. No, I don't. That is the one thing that I don't have, is I don't have pants. They hooked me up with head, shoulders, chest, hands, yeah, and boots, which, I mean, right there, like, that is way more than enough, you know? Plus a pair of swords for when I hit level 10. Feathered Wind Blade. And I see you, Sparrow. Thank you for that. I wanted to swap audio real quick, so I'm not talking over Theric and everybody else, but let's see, do I have any... I have no inventory space in my bank. And Moo Reaper, this is available to backers in kind of staggered time periods. Backers at it depends on what level you are pledged at. So for example, I have a large pledge in the game, so I have full access. People who previously would have had alpha access get 2 weeks out of every 6-week season that they're doing. And people who have what would have been beta access previously have 1 week out of every 6 weeks. So it's not open to all backers all the time, but all backers have some access during the seasons they're rolling out. Even if it's just low-level backers have 1 week in each season to hop in, and that's the period we're in right now. So there's a lot of people running around. Let me see. I need to get some of this crap out of here. Okay, I am not going to use these, so they're going to be cell fodder. And I think everything else here will just kind of have to be hanging out in my inventory. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, I have stuff all moved around. Where are we meeting at? Okay. I am on my way to Demeth as well. So one thing that does have to be done is right now there are some bugs with some of the mastery, and some abilities do not remember their mastery positions when you cross zone lines or things. So always when you're moving from things like Throne Fast to Avenger's Pass or back and forth, check your masteries and make sure that the last thing you spent didn't get reset, because that'll happen. And one thing I'm hoping to get at some point in time is some pants that aren't leather, but as it stands, I'm doing pretty good on getting hooked up with gear, so I ain't gonna complain here. And it is honestly probably a good thing right now that I'm not piping Discord audio in, because it's an interesting one in there. Another thing I do need to check is, do I have all of my abilities on my hotbar? Because every once in a while things get a bit wonky, but they do look good. So I'm going to go do a quick double check and see, do I have any scrolls I need to buy? Because I'm hopefully going to level to 8. So I'm going to go find the Dire Lord scroll. Here we go. Just double check to see, what do I get at level 8, and do I have that scroll already? Okay, so I do not have Devour Constitution. All right. Hey, Jiro dude, welcome on in. We're getting the crew together here. Yes, that's definitely the reason why I was last in the group, not because I was fucking off talking to chat. That's absolutely a thing. We're still doing the thing of getting the group together and all in one place and all in the same group and zone, which is just, it's a shit show. And Desert is breaking the group. And I am out of the group as well. So let's do take 3, take 4. F5, F4, either way, I'm just effed, so. Yeah, we're an AVP, so this is actually one of the entrances to Demeth here. So this is the side that has the Dire Lord scrolls person here. So we're kind of at the oddball entrance. Yeah, I don't know how much exploring a lot of people have done in AVP so far. Oh, there we go. We have one more. We have Leech of Rohan with us. So we're just waiting on Theric and Dez to meet us, and then we'll be good to go. And I suppose I should probably get a little bit more volume in my ears so I can actually hear the group. But, I mean, they're not saying anything important anyway, so... Alright, there's our monk. And now we get to see, do I remember how to play the Dire Lord? We definitely are lacking buffs because we crossed a zone line, and right now they don't have that transition fully worked out. So when you zone from Throne Fast to AVP, you lose all your buffs, which is kind of a bummer. I don't need pants. Pants are for the weak. Yeah, we don't go up to plate. Yeah, I know that right now Pally is kind of the cool kid on the block, so they got kind of all the shit thrown to them so that they can be neat, but I can't bring myself to do it. Like, I have zero interest in Paladin. I I am sticking with Dire Lord. That's my thing for tanking. But right now, Paladins are kind of sitting very similar to where Dire Lords were when they were the kind of only tank and during the initial balance phase, where they're just kind of throwing everything to them. Yeah, Sparrow, I definitely need that intellect buff. It's very... Des, did you just break the Trickster? Because it was moving until you got there. I'm not going to be able to even get enough essence on that one mob. Let's see if I can get a little bit more essence on this one. And yeah, the paladin basically being overtuned right now is definitely a thing. So, I mean, enjoy it while it lasts. I just do not expect it to last in the form that it's in right now. Once I have a couple of stacks like that, I can basically just sit back and let this guy wail, because he's mine. Therica's all proud of his new daggers, and I'm just like, nah, I still got the aggro. But I'll just basically let Des pull stuff to me. I'm 2.5 bubbles from 8. All right, I'm on the thief. Good night, brawler. It was nice knowing you. One of the things I really love to be able to do is on mezzed mobs, be able to just build up at least one extra stack of phantoms on them while they're mezzed before it breaks. I'm pretty certain that once they're done figuring out what they want to do with the paladin overall, they'll take a balance pass at the Dire Lord to kind of bring them up to a little bit more current with the stuff they're giving classes, because Dire Lord really hasn't been touched significantly or overhauled aside from little tweaks to its abilities for a long time. Just because it's been in the game for so long as a relatively complete class, it's kind of been left alone. And this is what happens when healers start sneezing, etc. So, in past iterations, Dire Lord actually did have an ability to force mobs to walk towards you. It wasn't a true pull ability, however, and it was on a very long cooldown. It was very expensive, so it was kind of garbage. It'll be interesting to see what kind of control abilities we end up getting when they do a repass on our toolkit. Because right now, we really have some version of the same toolkit we've had for years. They just keep tweaking what each little thing actually does. And sometimes the balance is good, sometimes it's kind of meh. But I do know that they're basically going to ultimately have the various tanks have their own distinct toolkits. Like I have my various self shields and absorbs, and Dez is getting trickstered here. So motive, I have a pair of feathered wind blades that I'm waiting until I level to 10 to use, because I was very kindly hooked up by somebody last night. So I've got some kind of aspirational weapons. And I got given a set of armor here. Just need to get myself some pants. What's up, Des? No, y'all are muted. Oh, whoops, I accidentally turned you on right as you were saying terrible things about everybody watching. Oh, and of course, I miss Essence Harvester, which is kind of key. Yeah, I know Mugen's been doing the solo grind on the Dire Lord, and I don't know. I know he was saying earlier that he was kind of getting frustrated with the low levels. I'm like, man, well, yeah, just about everything sucks in 1 to 4. I can tell Dez is about to do a sprint pull here. Dez with the masterful pull, somehow splitting it. Now Dez is going to go back and then everything else he was looking at is going to pull. Yeah, and unfortunately there is a known issue right now where the mobs that are in the initial population in some of these camps are not hooked in yet properly, so Dez is basically going through getting us actual hooked mobs. Let's see if I can get this guy back off Dez, because Dez just took a pound in there. The hilarity of the enemy death sounds. Some of them are just way too funny. Right now, I'm basically just standing here waiting for Dez to bring me mobs. Feed me enemies. There we go. Got my stuff on him, so he's good to go. And start working on this guy. Just keep my Devour dexterity refreshed. Right, and one of our healers is taking a quick AFK. Now we play the game of can Man of Rohan solo heal? Because this could go just fine, or this could go disastrously. Or we can just stand around talking about loot, because that's always an option too. It's like it's starting to get later because the lighting's changing. Yep, so just hit 4 o'clock in the game, so the sun is starting to go down. Des, I will have you know that my mix of chain and leather is the height of fashion, good sir. Just give me some safety pins to hold it all together. I'm golden. And yes, now the current conversation is how nice my ass looks in these pants. So, ladies and gentlemen, content. Des, that's just because I make these pants look too good. See if we can get this trickster pulled. And the dottle killed him. Ah, the joy of the pop right in camp as people are talking and the monk is going off to bowl. This is why you never stop watching, even when it's just downtime. And down goes the trickster. Alright, so we're making progress. Got a little more than a bubble and a half until level 8. Which again, primary thing I'm going to get at 8 is I'll be able to have Devour Constitution along with my Devour Dexterity, which will be nice. I really do like the Devour spells, if nothing else, just to kind of keep my stats boosted. Dez is going to go break the mobs out from that little camp over there. Well, he was going to. Let's see. Outlaw. So I need to refresh my Devour Dexterity. Hey, thanks, Gibbo. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome on in. Hopefully you're having a good evening. We're basically just wandering around killing stuff right now. I am playing the part of the distracted tank. And clearly the bot is not paying attention to things, so I have a feeling that's going to come through twice at some point in time, but good to have you in. We're due for pops down by the water. Alright. my stuff on this guy, so I don't need to care anymore. I can pretty much just stand here and let auto attack roll through. I mean, I should be able to basically just auto attack, but... Des, we gotta pop down by the water if you want to grab him before he wanders up this way. I just figure since we're looking for easy free mobs. Hey, there we go. The bot has decided to catch up just a few minutes late. I am the smartest Dire Lord in the game. We're joking about the grief I gave for the usefulness of the intellect buff for the tank. Oh, looks like Des found a trickster. Yeah, this one just does not want to move. It's fine. I will not face you, Ray. I'll just kind of stick you here. Some mobs just don't like. Oh yeah, like I was mostly being facetious because the reality is I do have some abilities that at least partially scale, or I will get some abilities that partially scale off of oddball stats. But it was more just me being sarcastic. And I'm sure Des is bringing me a Pixlox, and the only way I know that is because I can see it in the... Ooh, Des almost died to the Pixlox. Ooh, you're all shiny or something? You don't need no stinking badges. And thank you, Theric. I saw that. Yeah, Des said trickster, so I popped Vital Cage in preparation. Now it's on cooldown. Yes, Theric is role playing as the closest thing he can get to a ranger in the game at the moment. It will be really nice when we have more class variety and class access, although the class I really would like to see is still just not going to be a thing in the game, like my equivalent. But what can you do? Let's see. Come on, Essence Thief, give me some essence back here. It's taking forever. There we go. One thing that is still just kind of rough on the Dire Lord is our essence generation. Even with Essence Leech, it is still not as good as we had it in some previous iterations. We used to get a lot better essence generation for our attacks. Okay, there's Dez's Trickster, his mythical Trickster. Yeah, I know there's been a lot of talk about wanting a Beastmaster or something like that. What I still would love to see is a heavy melee damage class, because again, I love my Lotro champion, and I really like that archetype, but in Pantheon, pretty much what you get if you wear heavy armor is you are, at this point in time, locked into being a tank. They've taken away a lot of that concept of the flex roll or a heavy armor DPS. Your melee DPS, they're really just talking about monk and rogue. And neither of those really interest me terribly. Yeah, and it's like, I love my champion in Lord of the Rings Online, particularly when I'm in my trait spec, which is literally called Berserker, which is my red line, single target damage, dealing strike damage is how I get my health back for my sustain. Like, it's just an absolute blast to play, and there's just not that equivalent that's like, all we get for damaging melee classes is, do you want to jump around or stab things? So I'm kind of bummed by that, especially because originally Dire Lord was slated to have a kind of secondary DPS role at the very least, or a strong flex, and that's kind of just completely fallen by the wayside, which is a bummer. Looks like we got a bruiser coming in. But I also do know that VR is, to a large extent, they're going with archetypes that are familiar to I mean, they can be melee, but they're always going to be that, at least, again, according to the current design decision, which, as we've seen with other classes, can change. They're going to be a mixed range melee skirmisher type. And again, still, they're not going to be a heavily armored, heavy hitting, heavy weapon class. They're going to be a lighter, agility. Grabbing the pick locks if you want to mez the other. Yeah, it is not the same archetype. But I mean, to a large extent, there is a crowd that VR knows they need to appease and appeal to. I should say appeal to more than appease. And, you know, to a lot of those people, a lot of these archetypes are already set in stone. So they seem like they're trying not to stray far enough away from those that you get people starting to say, well, you know, it didn't used to work like that in Game X. Oh, we got another trickster. So... So it seems like they're kind of trying to do the thing of staying within a lane, so to speak. But I'll be happy if the game launches, even if it means that we don't have the breadth of classes that some other games have. And I don't even view it necessarily as poison so much as just like they know what they're doing, and they know that there's a group of people that they're gonna have to pull in that is this game's core initial people that are going to keep them afloat. They've got to reel those people in and keep them. And a lot of those people are going to be the ones saying like, I want this. So maybe we get a more breadth later on. I am actually kind of happy in a lot of ways, even though I'm disappointed in the lack of that class archetype, that they're scaling that stuff back so that we have a better scoped launch. Like they need to decide what they need to have in to launch the game so that they can get there and launch the game, you know? Oh, I mean, we all have that. Like, we all have the stuff where there are kind of nostalgic blind spots, you know? The things that, until you stop and take a look at them, you just, oh, well, you know, that's the good thing. That's the way I like it. Well, is it really the good thing, or is it... Let's see, where's Dez? Dez, we got a thief right here with us. I'm just going to nab it. I just always like to try and break that little tunnel vision that the pulling loop can have, because otherwise that thief is just going to wander right over to say hi to us eventually. Don't see anybody sneaking up on us still, so I'm just waiting for Dez to pull. Oh, dang it. Devour Dexterity fell off. I'm going to have to make sure I get that put back on. Alright, a couple stacks of phantoms. I'm good. I can auto attack. see, I don't see Dez having anything on him, so I think he's going to that other little camp. Oh, there we go. Trickster here is just getting wrecked. Excellent. That's the nice thing about the Tricksters, is that if you can get them not to constantly do the stupid point blank AoE they do, they're clothy, so you can basically just munch them. All right, Crow, I'll pull him onto me. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna start getting some stacks of phantoms built up on the named here. I got 5 stacks on me, so it should be good. Yeah, he's got a nice hammer, but also apparently he's got a sword he drops that is what everybody wants, or is everybody's asking for. Yeah, it's the mall. I think most of us at this point already have it, so there's the discussion around right now of, can somebody please take this? I still got inventory space, so I'll go ahead and loot. Hey Gula, how's it going, man? Yeah, we just got the the dark metal mall, unfortunately, so somebody else gets a bonk stick for their alt. Dez is going to learn his scroll because he just leveled, so we have Dez at level 7. So Gula, you're streaming on your own channel, right? You don't just stream with the crew? Because I could swear that I've gone in and watched you, but yeah, that's what people were hoping it was. Okay, that's what it is. Because I remember, I knew I had seen you play stuff. I just didn't remember seeing you play Pantheon on your channel. Man, those things that should be interrupted there just weren't getting interrupted, but we got them. That's what I remember. I knew I'd been in there, and it was, oh, we're crashing. Dang it. Sparrow's crashing. Okay, yep, it is just Sparrow, not the whole stream. Thank goodness. Yeah, because I remember when we were playing Embers, that's when I had gone over and seen, holy crap, Gulo's actually streaming too. That's awesome. I need like one more kill before I hit level 8. Sparrow hit level 8, so she's all fancy now. Oh, the Discord conversation currently is has turned to Riz, and it's what differentiates it from Res, and the fact that those of us who are old enough have neither. And I'll just stay here being old and cranky. Does anybody really escape to Canada? Des, there's a thief down at, yeah, cool. Thank you, thank you. Alright, so now I should have Devour Constitution as well as Devour Dexterity. I never actually use Heavy Slash, so that's just going to go straight off my bar to make room. There's kind of not a point to it. I was absolutely paying attention that whole time and knew Des was pulling. I was totally prepared. Alright, so that's got my Devour Constitution up. And that's nice because Constitution contributes to my armor class. So, give me a nice little buff there. And let's see what Des can pull next. It's the catch is that these buffs basically just kind of fall off over time if the pulls take too long. I want there to be something here to kill. All right, we're relocating back to this camp to pull them now. Let's see, how much... Oh, I'm still good on inventory space. Right now I can get Devour Dexterity up, so that's awesome because it gives me both Con and Dexterity in my Devour. Bruiser next. I mean, how many gamers, especially in the MMO crowd, can't say that we know life things? Got my consumables all starting to stack up there. And oh good, we got an outlaw just in time for me to be able to refresh Devour Constitution to keep my AC buff up. Yeah, I mean the whole thing about MMOs as a second job, like, we joke, but man, we've all been there. I have very, very definitely played at least one MMO functionally as a second job at one point or another. Right, XP is still flowing nicely. Definitely not going to hit 10 tonight. It would have been nice to hit 10 so that I could use these swords, but it is what it is. There's definitely a curve that starts kicking in once you hit level 6 and change or so. The leveling falls off. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh. Essence Harvester crit for 84. I'm not going to complain about that. Dang, Gula, you up in the solid teens. Alright, give me some essence, please. Give me some essence. There we go. And does apparently just hit a 253 crit, so that's I suddenly don't feel nearly as cool about my 84. But I'm also a tank, not a monk, so lots of people are waiting for Summoner. Summoner has a really big in the wings populace. I know that that's going to have the fully set pet system for it, though. So I do think that that and Necro are going to be latecomers. I blame stands too. There are a lot of people talking about running all summoner groups. I can totally see that happening. Now see, Des, I can put it in the trap. Right, what do we got? Brawler. See if Des can make it into the trap. There we go. We're playing the game of who can lead the mop into the trap, and I just had to jokingly pull one in that Des missed, just because I'm a jerk. But he got it on the second try, so that's pretty solid. Yeah, Churro dude, pet classes can be really nasty. I know that in Lotro, I've been playing my lore master again, specifically Blue Line, which is like the pet line for the pet class. And for a long time, just because of the way things scaled and the stats worked together, past a certain level, there was just, you couldn't balance pets. So like at about level 80 or so, the pet effectiveness just fell off a cliff. So the good news is Blue Line Lore Master is actually back. After the stat squish, Blue Line Lore Master is really good again. Because the squish in overall stats means that the math on pets is actually good without them having to worry about being like overpowered or underpowered. Well, looks like we're getting a trickster. I might not even get that off. Nope, didn't count. Dang it. What's he pulling? There we go. The outlaw is deciding it does not want to stand in any one place. conversation has now inevitably turned to Megadeth versus Metallica. So that's how you know we're all old. I'm surprised Des isn't going and mining that ore node there. Let's see if I need to craft my devours up. So let's see. Start with Khan. If I'm lucky, I'll get Dex 2. Yeah, I go back and forth. Like, if you're talking about peak, like, I love peak Megadeth, but that was such a small peak compared to the period of time that Metallica was putting out good material. I have to agree with you on that one on breadth of their catalog. Plus, I mean, Dave Mustaine is bafflingly managed to make himself even more of an asshole than James Hetfield or Lars. So, like, that's impressive. Let's see if I can actually get enough essence for Devour Dexterity. Nope. Yeah, that's the thing, is that their peak lasted longer. So Yellow Line is definitely not how I would solo or quest. Yellow Line is preferred for groups. Sorry, we're checking out moving poles. Yellow Line Lore Master is preferred in groups because they have a lot of crowd control and buffing and debuffing abilities. So they're not so great on their own because they're more of a pure support build. But in a group, or especially in a raid, everybody loves Yellow Line Lore Masters. The nice thing, though, is that you get basically the ability to have two different specs. So you can have one group spec and one blue line spec, or like one solo spec. My personal favorite for soloing on the Lore Master or just running around questing is blue line, because that improves your pet and makes them into basically a second character. So you are a mini party unto yourself. Grabbing the thief. And the other thing is, you can always, for very little money overall, change your spec and just reset it. Yeah, the Blue Line Lore Master also has some abilities you can spec to where you can get things like, if you get critically hit, your pet will heal you, like sacrifice some of its morale to heal you, stuff like that. Redline does decent damage, but even a full damage build Lore Master is never going to be a damage class. They're never going to match any of the like proper DPS classes and builds for like actually output. Redlands can be decent in burst, definitely, but they're not going to sustain like something like a runekeeper, a hunter, a champion, a brawler, or something like that. But of course, you know, the flip side to that is you have a ton of utility that you can bring to the group, unlike pure DPS classes. You're bringing more than just damage to the party. Yeah, it would be really interesting to see. But I mean, lore masters already have three very distinct trait lines, and they haven't been condensed down into two. So I really don't think they're going to get a fourth. Like that'd be too much. Trying to make sure that everybody else loots here. I think we have a group full of people who are all trying to make sure everybody else gets loot. Trying to be too nice about it. Refresh Devour Dexterity if I get the chance here. Man, that guy just didn't even last, and I got shit Essence Generation, so that didn't happen. There we go. This guy will be my Devour Dexterity buff. Got the nice shift into daytime here. No, I'm pretty sure no, because the staff weapon skills are all gonna be along the like magic damage stuff. So you're gonna have things like your wall of elements, your crushing, stuff like that. Staffs at ESO are very much the magic weapon. Now, there are things like mauls, you know, two-handed maces, but they're not staffs that fall under the melee line. I think we are making the run to change locations here. Yeah, apparently we're welcome in, Haley. How's it going? We're just cruising around doing some Pantheon tonight. It was going to be Lotro, but through an audible because people were logging on. So I am playing my accustomed Dire Lord here. And I am paying almost no attention to what's going on in the game, frankly. Nice. How are you liking the enchanter? We've got Crowsinger in the group is our enchanter currently, and man, it is really nice having a good enchanter in groups. Like I absolutely see them as being a very very desired class. Yes, I think Crowsinger, yeah, she's level 7 as well. So you're in good company. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yellow con solo. It almost doesn't matter what class you are, it's going to suck. Especially in that level range where you're starting to get past the 3s and 4s. The game definitely at a certain point is going to say you will run with at least 2 or 3 or you're going to have a really bad time. We're all between 6 and 8. Let's see, I think. Yeah, now we're all between 7 and 8. I know Theric was a little bit behind, but he's been getting some good catch up in. Our original goal was to have everybody basically up to 8 for Thursday. Are you just going to be really stubborn and keep trying to figure yourself out a way to do it? Like, get yourself a strat down? Because that is exactly the kind of thing that I would do because I am obnoxiously stubborn like that, so I can totally see it. The Jack Rabbit is vicious. I remember that from previous testing sessions. Is it still just an absolute killer? Okay, so let's see. Keep that for the moment. Got 2 tarnished axes, so that goes. I'm going to stay the hell away from those swords because I'm not going to accidentally sell those. All this stuff is crap that I can safely not worry about. All right, now we're working on getting everybody back to us. So interestingly, our buffs carried with us across the zone line this time, but they didn't before. And just as Mana Rohan catches up to us, we're all running off. You know, hashtag community matters. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Appreciate it. And go enjoy the evening with the grandkid. Apparently our plan here is to go relocate and do some different mobs. I was honestly not listening when they were talking about where we're going, so I'm just going to show up and it'll be a surprise, and I'll take things. And I do love the fact that I'm watching in chat here, and Mana Rohan is behind us because he had to AFK and then run to sell after us. And I still see that he is mining on his way here too, so it's going to be even longer. The chat log is betraying him. Well, if you weren't listening, I wouldn't. You wouldn't hear me selling you out. The chat log betrays you, Mana Rohan. You know this. So it looks like we're going to do spiders. All right, so this should be interesting. I'm pretty sure that I did spiders in previous. Oh, Des, you'll have fun going in there to pull, buddy. This could go terribly, terribly wrong. Are you sure it was aggro, Mana Rohan? Waiting on buffs to go out. And let's see how it goes. My food buff is still good. We've got healers here, so we are good. Get my buffs back up. There we go. Essence Harvester is now properly landed, and boy, Essence Harvester dropped off right quick. Just don't go full frontal with the Nightweavers. Boy, I am missing a ton here. But hopefully the XP is worth it. That wasn't bad. That was fairly solid. And we didn't eat the healer's mana too badly either, it looks like, so that's good. Okay, Skitterfang Recluse is our next victim. Start building my Phantom stacks up. And still good on my Devours, so all these are going to go into damage. Oh man, it hurts eating all that readiness just to miss. Well, at least Essence Leech landed, so that's good. But he resisted Boiled Blood. What is my Enervation skill? 22 of 27, so I need to cast Boiled Blood more, I think. Just to keep working that up. I thought... No, that's Corruption. It's Corruption, not Enervation. And it is 27. What do I have that's Enervation? Oh, those are my Devours or Enervation. That's why it's lower. That makes sense. I can see two spiders just staring at Dez in there. If you get lucky, you can get one of them at a time with body pulls in there, but you gotta be really careful about your positioning. Or really lucky. Okay. These guys take so long to kill that I'm probably going to be refreshing my Devours like each mob or each, every other mob. The interesting thing is, even if the mob resists my Devours, I still get the buff. See if I can get a little bit of extra Essence Harvester so I can life tap here. Nice. pretty much just going to sit here and auto attack for a while because I've got Phantom stacks built, so I don't need to do much. Frankly, there's not much I can do to provide a whole lot of damage here compared to, like, Dez and Theric. Still haven't landed Essence Leech. That is at least 2 times. Utterly failing. It's always good. It's gonna die before I get Essence Leech off, so I don't think there's even a point. And I'll just take a quick break and skin here. See, what this is doing here is this is encouraging Dez to get a mob and bring it back to us before I finish skinning, specifically to interrupt me. It gives him an incentive. This one I might actually be able to get both of my... Yep, gonna get both of my Devours refreshed, so that's awesome. Although Phantoms fell off, so I just gonna kind of sneakily put Phantoms back on and pretend it never left. I'm not landing much of anything on this guy, so I pretty much just have to consistently refresh Phantoms before the stacks expire. I don't honestly think that I'm going to lose aggro at this point because I have so many residual stacks of Phantoms in the built-up aggro, which is kind of nice because Dire Lords have that thing where the longer the fight goes on, the more pinned the mob is. I think the spider just ran into the tree, bonked its head, and died. So right now, the game is not open or launched. People who have pledged to back the development of the game at different levels have different windows of time that are open to play. So, oh, Dez, buddy, you're in a bad spot. So Desrin just got ganked by walkers in the cave there, so he's gonna run back, I'm pretty sure. And we're gonna take a quick break while we wait. So the different people who have backed at different pledge levels, you know, people who have put in to support the game have different windows of time. People who supported at what was previously the pre-alpha pledge level, I am one of those people, just because, well, I'm silly and honestly make more money than I need to because I got very lucky. Have, at this point, basically continuous access to the new testing cycle that they've put up. People who back at what used to be the alpha level have 2 weeks out of every 6 week season, because they're basically doing seasons of development at this point, chapters and seasons, and I am terrible at remembering which is which. And people who back at what used to be the beta level have 1 week in that cycle. So basically, people who back at what used to be the alpha level have 2 weeks out of every 6 to get in and play. And people who back at kind of, I think, any of the pledge levels at this point, if I'm not mistaken, play for 1 week out of every 6. And that is the week that we're currently in right now. So there's a lot of people in and playing during this end of this current season before we get our next season of new little content drops, as they're basically developing and releasing new stuff for us to test with. This is still very much testing. It's not playing a live game. So we're very much playing an in development product. I hope that wasn't too completely roundabout of an answer. Thanks, Haley. I was actually just on my screen here while we were waiting for a break, pulling up trying to get to the pledge page, but you beat me to it. Yeah, I think the new pledge that's the equivalent of pre-alpha is that 751, and that's, again, pledges really for in development games like this shouldn't be looked at as buying the game yet. These are increments that you are supporting the game and its development in, and one of the benefits of that is this testing access here. So it's very much something where the primary focus is supporting Visionary Realms so that they can keep doing their development. The benefit is just we get to come in and test. And everybody's running off someplace, which makes me think that I missed a memo. Oh, good. They're running because they were coming back. Yes. What Vin said is if that's in if that's in budget, because that's always something where you're supporting the development of a game that, again, is still very much actively in development. You're not buying a finished product. But if you have that, that is very much something where it's a good starting point. And exactly what Haley said, Visionary Realms will let you, over time, up your pledge if you decide that you want to support them at a higher tier. I initially started out with a small pledge, then over time upgraded to what would have been an alpha pledge at the time, and then had a bit of a like a bit of a windfall at work, and a few years ago upgraded to the pre-alpha pledge, which is what got me into testing during the pre-alpha 5 session. And kind of permanently got Vin stuck in the thankless task of healing me. The great Vindini, accept no substitutes. There are no other Vindinis like him. I want more XP. I want to hit level 10. Yes, and I'm going to stubbornly face him away from the group. Yeah, Vin, I'm pretty sure that I went through all 3 pledge layers over time with mine. Yeah, nobody should ever feel like they have to be or are pressured into pledging anything to a project beyond what is within their means to hand away to support something and maybe never get anything back. Because that's absolutely what this is you are supporting, you're supporting the dream. I mean, 250 is absolutely nothing to sneeze at. Like, that is, for a player to put into an in-development game, that's awesome. Again, like I said, I was able to pledge higher because it was within my means, and it is absolutely not any kind of any kind of merit on my part more than it is just pure dumb luck through Dez is gonna get web shot here, and I'm gonna let him sweat just a sec because I'm a jerk. And I think Mana Rohan is healing somebody else. I just wanted to say that to see if he's actually still listening. It's fun to give him grief. Let's see. Man, it just does not want to let me land Essence Harvester on this jerk. Let's see. Wow, and let me land Boiled Blood, but right after Phantom's unstacked. This Recluse here is just absolutely wrecking my rotation by being an absolute jerk. Yeah, once again, I just cannot for the life of me land Essence Harvester on this dude. Probably because he's red. So this is just going to be a bit of a slog. But Theric and Dez will kill it eventually. Essence Harvester is going to land. Nope. Failed. But hey, I got Boiled Blood off again. I'm just going to sit here and purely hold this thing by use of Phantom stacks, because that's all I'm successfully getting here. Like, I'm just going to give up on anything else. It was decent XP though, so I ain't going to complain about that. So, sounds like we're getting set to wrap up, which is actually perfect timing. I'll still refresh my buffs anyway, because we should have another couple mobs in this rotation. Hey, I actually got an Essence Leech off, finally. Let's see if I can refresh Essence Leech. Nope, that was an utter fail. But hey. Yep, so while Dez is pulling, and because Theric was just mentioning it, I do also want to say that Thursday night on the Static Group Live YouTube channel, this same group here is also going to be back playing more Pantheon. So you're going to get utterly sick of us. This was just kind of an impromptu leveling stream. And I'm a little bit close to the cave mouth here, but I think we're good. I was going to make Mana Rohan sweat a little bit. Just going to keep an eye behind me here, because I see that walker. And I don't think that's one of the ones that comes close. But I'm not 100% sure, you know? Just gonna go ahead and slide back away from the cave mouth. No spiders here. Alright, Dez has something on him because I see a health bar. And 2 minutes. Alright. Got pretty solid on Essence because Essence Leech is still there. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can devour on this guy. Is this? Nope, this is orange. So maybe I'm just getting a bit lucky on my landing. Yeah, he resisted both my devours, unfortunately. But I have had Essence Leech kept up pretty regularly. And the stream has a Vendini cameo, which is always a good way to end the stream, you know, as we start winding things down. Vendini is on his perch. I suppose I should actually watch Dez in case he goes and pulls, as opposed to just taking in the majesty of the Vendini in his natural habitat. And his puppy. Yeah, the area around the cave mouth is absolutely like a no-go area up there, because some of it, I think, still is a little sketchy as far as what it links to. You are not the only one who did that. And the only reason that I didn't do that during that session is because so many other people were saying, don't go up there because I did and bad things happened. And the music started, and all of a sudden a spider horde came up and ate me. I suppose all... Nope, it's looted. Good. Good, good, good. But this one isn't. Come on, spider, come to me. There you are. Good spider. I might actually be able to refresh my powers here. Let's see. I'd like to actually land one on the spider, but they just do not land. Yes, we absolutely have Ritek helping us here. Oh, yeah, because at that point in time it was still full corpse runs, and there's no way at level 4 you're getting back around here to get your corpse and get your stuff back. That's rough. Alright, come on, spider. Oh man, once again, I just cannot land consistently Essence Harvester on these oranges. So annoying. Thank you, Ben. I did see that, by the way. Alright, so we appear to be wrapping up. So we're going to run off to safety here. And as always, thank you, Vin, for stopping by and carrying us out of group. I'm going to make the run to the crossroads because I think, yeah, I've got a few things to sell. I just did not harvest much on those. Catch y'all Thursday. Alright, so everybody's basically hopping off. I'm going to go ahead and just make the run to Crossroads to sell here. I got Windstrider, so I can sprint for a nice long time. Yeah, thanks, Spirit. Thanks, Theric. It was nice to be able to hop on and kill stuff. Wasn't my original plan for the evening, but when everybody started hopping on, it's like, well, all right, we're calling an audible. So now that this should be a safe area here, relatively. What I'm gonna do is, let's see who is on and doing stuff. Let's see, we got. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and bounce folks back over to Hot Kittens because it looks like they are actually still on or back on. Um, and this is a pair of brothers who yesterday was their first time playing Pantheon, so they've been running around duoing and grouping, um, and having a blast. So gonna send folks over there and tell them we said hi.